Every year, our Royal Canadian Legion chooses a Silver Cross mother who has lost a child in military service to represent all the mothers of fallen soldiers. Well, for the first time, this year's Silver Cross mother is a mother whose son died by suicide that was ruled to be connected to military service. Anita Senarini is joining us from Winnipeg this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Your son, Private Thomas Welch, took his own life 14 years ago. This is after he came home from Afghanistan. At the time, the military and federal government did not recognize his suicide was connected to his experiences on deployment. Talk to me about what that time was like for you and for your family.
It was a difficult time because, as we all know, the stigma associated with suicide often pushes families into isolation. It was very difficult having a member of our family who had served his country and served it valiantly to come home and to lose his life, and for his family to then feel a sense of isolation because his death wasn't recognized as being attributable to service. Yet we knew in our hearts, and we knew through what we experienced of Thomas on his return home from Afghanistan that he indeed was deeply affected psychologically and emotionally by his tour of duty.
Anita, we know that after the Great War, soldiers who suffered the effects of what was known then as shell shock, what we now call PTSD, were not added to memorials. They were not remembered as men in service. And when your son passed away, his name was not added to the books of remembrance. So these commemorate soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice. Well, now, the day before Canada's National Remembrance Service, you will watch your son's name be inscribed in those books. What does that mean for you?
It is the purpose that I advocated for Thomas, and I wanted to continue until the truth finally had revealed itself. And this is for Thomas. This is what he deserved. This is how he deserves to be remembered and honored. And as a family, being there to see his name inscribed in the Book of Remembrance was kind of the end of the journey for us in regards to being Thomas's voice since he's been gone. But it actually is just the beginning of the journey for all of us as a family to continue to advocate on behalf of all the soldiers who are suffering from psychological injury, post-traumatic stress disorder, operational stress injuries. We will carry on and be advocates because we honor and we respect the soldiers who serve our country and who are affected in the same way that Thomas was.
Ms. Senarini, I want to thank you not only for the duties and the sacrifices of your son, but of your family as well. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.